forum is quiet, not much going on. In some ways that's why I'm writing this song. Nothing new to discuss, just the ongoing grind. Is Canon and Co. track the latest dog or find? We're waiting for the next patch to drop. I'm in my latest ship, I'm buying skins from the shop. The inevitable happens, I hear the bell toll. An angry or bored or inept or just droll post on the forum appeals from a new troll. Ghost, safe in anonymity, has spotted an opening and filled it with glee, spouting flaming buzzwords, invective vitriols, calling on the others to crawl from their holes. And they chant, it's a mile wide, inch deep. It's the mantra they will say. Here it's a mile wide, inch deep. And they will type this tribe all day. Yeah, it's a mile wide, an inch deep. Is that all that you can say? It's a mile wide, inch deep. And your 500 eyes you will play. Yeah, yeah. As my finger hovers over ignore my usual response to this repetitive bore. I see this pointless post has poked at a nerve of the famous white knights, and they respond with such verve, forgetting it's just what the troll wants. But they rival inaccurate statements and grammar and fonts. The post picks up speed as contributors clash, questioning integrity, parenthood, and even mental health standings in a globalized World Wide Web impersonal shit slinging match. And they say it's a mile wide, inch deep. It's the mantra they will say. Yeah, it's a mile wide, inch deep. They will type this tribe all day. Yeah, it's a mile wide, inch deep. Is that all that you can say? Oh, it's a mile wide, inch deep. And your 500 eyes you will play. I watch the usual parry and riposte unfold. The same old face, the beats of promise of old. Moral high ground being taken by either side. Some eating popcorn just along from the ride. Yet most of the nights are so lost in corresponding. Haven't noticed that the troll hasn't even responded. The account set its purpose, the forums of Twitter. They've forgotten what was posted that had turned them all so fervent and angry and so bitter. It's a mile wide, an inch deep. All the posts I copy and paste. It's a mile wide, an inch deep. For all that lovely salt I can taste. You can't be the troll by rhyme or reason. You can't be the troll by enticing and teasing. You can't be the troll with clever wordplay. You can be the troll by doing this. I got a proper ship with the fighter bay, yeah. Don't see too many flown by commanders. I guess they're all at war. You're in their proper ships or with the fighter base, whoa, hey. But I don't care if you laugh at the small hard points, cause they're bigger than you, and that's just how it goes again. I'm in a big ship, so little ship. It's my starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. I'm in a big ship, so little ship. It's my starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. So now I'm free, I'm texting all those girls who turn their noses up. I flew a smaller ship and I lost it all, okay. But in this capital with base so full, I think they'll change their minds. I got a proper ship with a fighter bay, yeah, hey. But I don't care if they laugh at the small hard points, cause they're bigger than you, and are just how it goes. I'm in a big ship, so it's my starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. I'm in a big ship, so yeah, it's my starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. See you at the revised screen, boy. At the revised screen, boy. See you at the revised screen, boy. At the revised screen. So now I've got my floppy wings in tow. I'm heading to the res. I fight a bigger ship with a fighter bay and blow. But I don't care, cause in this new kill back, the comeback will be mine. I like a proper ship with a fighter bay, whoa, hey. But I don't care if they laugh at the small hard point, cause I'm bigger than you, and I'm just how it goes. I'm in a big ship, so little ship. It's my starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. I'm in a big ship, so little ship. It's like a starship, pathetic. A new commander's on his way. See you at the revised screen. See you at the revised screen, boy. See you at the revised screen, boy. At the revised screen. See you at the revised screen, boy. At the revised screen, boy. See you at the revised screen, boy. At the revised screen, boy.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the current Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 516 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defy, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder in this brand new year, we have our, Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychic, otherwise known as Claire.
Happy New Year, Commanders.
Happy New Year to you too. We have our SRV Banksy, that's Commander Alec Turner.
Konnichiwa, Commanders. We're back. Welcome to 3311.
Unfortunately, we can't be joined this week by our head of health and safety. Ben Moss Woodward is dealing with a family emergency, or he's got family commitments rather. So we'll hopefully see him maybe in a couple of weeks. But until then, chin up, Ben. But replacing Ben for this episode, we have our tech primate on probation. I think we can say that he's off probation.
Possibly not on probation anymore. Well, that feels. It's been like a year, mate.
Yeah, I know. No one's updated the show notes. He's still got that label.
He's still determined for it to be the case, and I don't believe him.
Well, it's the Chris Mark V, otherwise known as Little Biggin, who will be joining in. The Chris Mark IV is busy elsewhere. And, of course, on tech today, we have the wonderful Commander Apathis. Now, if you wish, you can join us live. The Chris Mark V is hanging out in the game in open. I take it at Lave Station.
Table. Looks like the usual table.
Yep. Okay. So there you go. But if you can't get to us in game, you can join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio. Also, we're all also streaming out live on YouTube as well. So hello to everybody in the chat channel. So let's have a quick going round the crew, see how their Christmas and New Year has been. So we'll start with Claire and Chris.
Hi.
Up to you which one of you goes first, but probably similar.
Let's like really pad it out and go play by play daily after our last show. So I got up at 5 a.m. to watch Kids see her explode, and then the rest of the week is the rest of the couple of weeks is kind of a bit of a blur, really, because. I was going to say because Morrison's were doing like this deal where you could get multiple cans of strawberry daiquiri, and I drank all of them and then I forgot everything that happened. But that's not true at all, and that paints me like someone who can't handle a strawberry daiquiri, and I can because they're delicious and they still have them, and I've still got some in my fridge and I might go down and get one in a minute. But we had a really chill Christmas. It was really nice, and we didn't get out to a huge amount of stuff, but we played like some silly games. We had a bit of we partied like it was 2020 and did some Discord games on New Year's Eve, and that was really, really funny. Epaphras and Chris Mark 4 and Chris was there. That was a really fun time. In Elite, I've been doing loads of PowerPlay weeklies. It's PowerPlay weeklies. If you have stuff like megaship scanning and things along those lines, choosing Thursday as your day to do Elite stuff is a big issue because a lot of these megaships have moved and I can't find them and I am mad about it. Predominantly it's I don't know if I'm going to I might change my like fully designated Elite day to a Monday or something so that things can be things like in passing get updated in an hour a little bit quicker. Because I've also found out that when you get to like level 40, apparently you get 10 missions each week, which is wild to me. But
cool.
Yeah, and I'm never going to get them completed, so that's not a problem. But the 5 of the 5 that I had on Thursday, 2 of them were scan 10 megaships in acquisition systems, and then the next one was scan 8 megaships in reinforcement systems. So that's I had to find 18 total megaships, which on a Thursday, on the tick day when all the megaships have jumped, Inara isn't quite as reliable. So it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. I spent like 3 hours doing the megaship missions last Thursday, and then I managed to do them today because Inara had updated for a lot of people. But there's a lot. There's a lot to it. I'm still having fun like plodding around my missions because it literally gives me something to do when I log in to Elite. But you know what? I'm legitimately holding space for colonization right now.
Fair enough. What about you, Chris Mark 5?
So, I mean, I also did mostly the same things as Claire did. Game-wise, been playing a lot of Helldivers 2, played some Elite, got angry at weekly PowerPlay things because some of them are so badly explained they make me do an anger.
Oh, yes.
Especially they go and kill rival powers in this system. But it can only be the power that's actually in charge of that system. If there's another power there and you kill them, they don't count. You just get a bounty and notoriety.
Oh.
Yeah. It's bloody stupid. So it's an undermining system. Yeah. You know, it's dumb and it's bad and it should feel bad.
Wow.
That's it.
Oh, okay. So I almost thought the soapbox was coming up then, but no. We'll save that for later.
I think Alex got it booked.
Yeah, Alex got it booked. Yeah.
Yeah, I've reserved that. Yes. Hello. Yeah, chilled Christmas here too. We went away for the second year in a row. Went away for 6 days over Christmas Day itself, which is great because all that madness in the shops that where people are behaving like it's it's like the end of the world and they're all running around stripping places like Sainsbury's of everything it's got. You can just turn your back on that and not worry about it at all, which is great. And somebody else does all the cooking and brings you loads of food and drink. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
We also on Boxing Day. It's funny. Last year, the hotel we go to is quite near to a town called Tavistock, and it turns out Tavistock on Boxing Day has a clash between a bunch of fox hunters. And the protesters. And we caught it randomly last year. We went to Boxing Day just for a walk, and we parked our car. And when we came back from our walk, our car was surrounded by horses and hounds, which was amusing. Anyway, this year we went deliberately. We thought, let's go and watch the clash between the fox hunters and the protesters again. So that's become an annual tradition for Boxing Day, which is quite fun.
You sit in the hillock and see which one gets pulled off his horse first, with a thermos flask in one hand.
It's all very civilized, and we got hold of a crib sheet for protesters. It's a bit like how they tried to take down Al Capone. They're basically trying to get them on technicalities. So things like, they've got a little checklist of things they need to look out for, like people publicly urinating or, I don't know, not having proper safety measures or not cleaning up the poo of the dogs or things like that. So you can see all these people with clipboards watching the fox hunters and trying to get them on anything they can. It's all very silly. Anyway. So that was Christmas, going away and mostly drinking and eating a lot. It's lovely. Christmas highlight was probably the new Wallace and Gromit film, which is fucking excellent and absolutely hilarious, and everyone needs to watch it if they haven't already. It's so funny. It's so funny. I laugh so much. And then in game, a few things. I went and did some actual colonization scouting. I have a kind of area in mind and a vague purpose in mind, so I went looking for some planets, and I actually have my planet bookmarked. I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready. I've got it bookmarked. I'm not telling anyone where it is or giving any more clues.
Where is it, Alec? Tell us.
Was that the photos that you took that David Braben retweeted?
No.
Oh,
no. So then,
it could be. He's not telling you.
It could be. It's not, but it could be. It's that's 1,500 light years out. I think it would take me several lifetimes to get there. And then I think it was it Terakov? I can't remember. Somebody on the show here actually recommended this. I went out on an exobiology trip, and I did it on the back of taking a long-distance tourist mission, which kind of gives you an arbitrary place to go, and you get a little bonus. And those tourist missions, I think, have like 3 weeks expiry. So you go out, and then on the way back, you do, well, on the way there as well, if you fancy, you do your exobiology. Interesting. It's good. I haven't quite got back yet, so I haven't cashed in. But I think because it's a known place, you are, of course, following a line. So you don't get many first discovereds. I did deviate from the line. I deliberately, once I'd got to my destination, then went up quite a long way before heading back. But I'm finding an awful lot of stuff has already got the first landed bonus.
I feel like that's now becoming a thing where if it's somewhere that's like a notable place, now going up and down sort of like there's a much more greater chance of finding something when you work your way back to the bubble or work your way out, because I used to do that all the time. And
I think everyone else is doing that as well now. So even going up and down, you need to go at an angle now. It's like, or I think I just need to go further.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'll be curious to see what I did. Yes, but on that exobiology trip, I really love it, actually, because you get a chance to see some amazing planets up close, and I found this incredible mountain. It was kind of isolated. In fact, what was cool about it was when I highlighted the exobiology in blue, with the overlay thing. Literally on the horizon of the planet, I could see this blue peak poking up. It was like a bloody signpost saying, "Over here, mate, massive mountain." So there's a tip, actually, if anyone's looking for big mountains, is if I think it's fungoida, or is it cacti? I can't remember. One of them likes mountain tops. And if you select that one in your filter,
the cacti.
Yeah, maybe it's that. That was it. Yeah. Then it highlights mountains on the fringes of the planet, so you can spot big ones. Anyway, this thing was like nearly 7 kilometers tall. So I then lost 3 days to that, just driving the SRV up and down it. Yeah, and posted a screenshot, which David Braben retweeted, which was nice.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah, and then I tore myself away from that big mountain, and I'm currently on my way back. I'm about 500 light years away now, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. Well, yeah, like everyone else, I've done some elite stuff over the holidays. I've done a little bit of PowerPlay. I've done a little bit, managed to get my commander that inch closer to Colonia. Again, she's doing the zigzag, so she's something like 3,000 light years off the beaten path that everybody, the mega ship route. So I'm hitting new systems all the time, and the only downside is that my main commander, who has been fighting Thargoids for the last 2 years, kind of not sure what to do with him. It's just I might go on an exploration trip. I might I might just maybe get signed up to one of the PowerPlays, but I'm not quite so sure what to do with him at the moment. So yeah, having a bit of a identity crisis with him. I had a bit of bad news over the holidays. I had to cancel my PitCon ticket because that weekend my son wants his 18th birthday party. Yeah.
It's always a family birthday for you, isn't it, Colin? It's always one of your children were born at the most inopportune time.
Yeah, it was like with LaveCon, it was always it always depended on whether or not a weekend happened before the 4th of July. If there was a weekend after it, and then if LaveCon was the next weekend, I was fine. But if it was the weekend after my daughter's birthday, I couldn't go. So, yeah.
Can you not persuade him that the most fun way to spend his 18th birthday would be in a room full of middle-aged nerds?
He
Absolutely not. It's not.
I mean, he'd get a lot of first pint spot for him.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Scorpius alone.
My ticket has been refunded and handed out to somebody else more worthy. But it does mean, unfortunately, there'll be no elite miniatures down at PitCon, which Burr himself is not very happy with because he wanted to play that. However, I am a new owner of a Mass Effect hoodie that I got for Christmas from my daughter, who's got some taste. And then my son bought me a Ferrari cap to celebrate Lewis Hamilton moving over to Ferrari, which, okay, fair enough.
Oh, come on, the new season. I'm really looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. I think science got done dirty, but then what can you do?
No.
And anyway, I'm also doing a Final Fantasy VII playthrough on YouTube because Rebirth is coming to the PC on the 23rd. You won't see much of me after that. So, moving on. The development news. Well, what have the devs said this week? Well, not this week, but we missed the good old Frontier FU. So, yeah, that happened the day after our last episode with Arf and Zach answering questions from the community about colonization. Can we just agree that the questions were probably the most generic ones possible? And yeah, I think we kind of already guessed the answers to most of those. I don't know
There's
about
a smattering. There's a I mean, they always do this. There was a smattering of good ones, but yes, on the whole,
Yeah.
Just don't give too much away.
Frontier do this thing where they give us loads and loads of information without giving us any information at all, and let us like speculate our tits off until it's such a time as we actually get our hands on the thing to do the stuff.
Yeah, I suppose that speculation has kept Lave Radio going for 10 years. So
my guy, the whole of last year. Holy shit.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to quickly go through the questions. So they started off with a very abridged answers, I might point out. So what are the costs of colonization and setting up a colony ship? Boils down to dunno yet. Not as much as a fleet carrier. However, you only have 4 weeks to complete the build of the initial station, and that's going to cost you materials. Next, will there be any upkeep for the system architect? No. What system will be in place, or a colonized system, if the architect goes inactive? Well, once the system's up and running, that's it. BGS and PowerPlay can take it over. It won't expand because the guy's not about, but or girl is not about, and that'll be that. It'll just stay in a static state. It doesn't degrade like fleet carriers. Will there be a fair system for purchasing claims for popular systems? Well, it's first come, first served, and there's only one claim per player, which can be active at once. Straightforward. How will players be able to colonize using a specific faction if there are no zero population systems within the colonized radius of the system that contain the faction? You have to work the BGS until your faction's in range.
It's like wrong with that. Expansion doesn't work.
Yes, they need to fix that one, don't they? Will there be a limit to how many systems a player can be an architect for? No, is the straightforward answer. You can only claim one at a time, but you can be the architect for multiple systems. Will the BGS rules apply to colonized systems? Yes. Once it's up and running, players can manipulate both the BGS and PowerPlay to move their factions into it. Can architects permit lock or decide trade routes? You can't permit lock it. It's not a PvP or PvP thing. Trade is affected by the economy you create, so you can create your own trade routes that way. But as far as doing what they used to do to the mega shits by dropping the Thargoid probes on it, no, they're not going to allow that. This one was a weird one. What are the benefits for a solo commander? Well, same as a group.
Actual question. I couldn't even remember that. When I saw it in there, I genuinely didn't. I couldn't even remember seeing that as being like one of the questions that popped up on the screen, because it's all on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all on YouTube. To which it was kind of, yeah, the answer was, yeah, well, yeah, it's going to be easier to do this in a group, but solo commanders can do it. But then again, it's whoever the system architect is a solo player, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's always solo. Even if it's a group, you've got to nominate your architect, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe Psyche will take one system, and then the next system over. Then Chris will take the next one, and so on.
Yeah, sorry, they probably got the question wrong, because there were a lot of questions along the lines of "What's in it for me?" kind of deal. Can I name it? There was quite a lot of genuine questions about. So this colonization thing, what do I get out of it? Why would I want to do it? But I can understand why you might skirt that.
Yeah, because before you know it, you'll have very, very rude or copyright infringent place names. So yeah, I wonder how that's going to work.
You probably won't be able to choose a name. It's probably going to be either off a pre-populated list with like a bunch of like words they can jam together. Otherwise, somebody's going to have to sit there and do it themselves.
Yeah, this is basically going to have to be something that just runs on its own rather than has a resource dedicated to it. So, like putting a faction into the game requires an actual person to go and do it. Everything that they've worked on so far has been automated. So naming it, where you then having to have someone go through names, especially if there's that many people. There were 20,000 people who signed up to 20,000 commanders, let's say, who signed up to the Soul CG. If 20,000 commanders now then go and book a station and then try and book a name, that is a lot of work for a person to go through.
I don't want to drag this out, but it is 2025. Surely we have the technology to come up with some system that allows naming from, I don't know, procedural generation or a pick list, or
100%.
It can't need a human. It can't need a human.
Pick list is exactly what it could be, or it could be something where it just names it for you.
Yeah, it's not going to be freeform, because you'd have to then have a list which is comprised of every single possible copyright name ever in existence that is still copyright, and anything in-game potentially as well, anything married to in-game lore they may not want you to use.
I feel like if you had 100 adjectives and 100 nouns and 100 whatevers, you could construct things like Bob's Lonely Hideout.
Yeah.
And you could construct thousands and hundreds of thousands of those, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really probably the best way that they could go about doing it, because then you have a little bit of like ownership in creating your name and your system or your station name, sorry. But you also don't have people flying around the galaxy dropping into systems and every single station is A star 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 M. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that, because otherwise they'll have, they're going to go TTP. It is real. So Right. Moving on from there, if you start another system, how soon after do you lose your system architect role in previous systems? The answer is you don't. Every system that you personally colonize, you are the system architect, and you can go backwards and forwards and add new bases into that system how you want. So yeah, that's you. They're permanent. Will systems display who's the system architect is? Of course they're going to. What's the point of creating a system if you can't brag about it?
That's the ownership part. It's like your commander name there. It's not the names of the stations.
Yeah. Will there be any opportunities to expand infrastructure in currently established systems? Forget it. Nada. Unexplored systems only. The bubble's the bubble. You're going out and you're doing more stuff, not changing the bubble. Will there be
strictly true, Colin?
Well,
because the bubble, there's like, if you're calling the bubble as it was the old bubble, there's so many systems within the bubble that are not populated. So the bubble will grow exponentially due to extra systems being added between stations.
I suppose that's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that. I'd always thought around the edge, but you're right. I suppose there are some inwards.
Loads, hundreds. Cool. Like, open up the galaxy map and look at the amount of you can go in and you can see systems with zero pop. Like one of the loads of them. You can change it so they have no politics. You can change it so they have no they're not Thargoid, federal other governments and stuff. And you can just mark them as none, and they show up as grey on the galaxy map. And there are hundreds and thousands within the bubble itself, which is again why 10 light years isn't a unreasonable amount based on the current bubble thinking.
Yeah, I think most of the players, when they heard that 10 light year limit, were thinking, God, the bubble's not going to expand out fast, is it? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Will there be in-game tools to find good systems to colonize and to choose where colonize options are best placed? Well, there's going to be an architect view in the system, galaxy, and planetary map for you to use. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what form those tools come in.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing what that does.
Because if they could also add a racetrack as one of the things you could add, that would be...
Yes, please.
Yeah. Anyway. Are there any penalties or general downsides to having multiple economies in one system or investing too heavily in one economy? I think this question confused people. The answer was not really. Because it's exactly how it is in the existing system, the existing BGS. You can have some system that says it's high tech, but when you go there, it's only one station which is high tech. The others can be whatever. But yeah, it's. And finally, can you blockade or sabotage a system? Again, no. This is this isn't a PvP thing. Which, although if you could start doing that, it's the equivalent of Clash of Clans, isn't it? And you don't want that. So the next FU will also include the roadmap for Elite Dangerous in 2025.
Can I ask you a question on that? Like, you've watched this more recently than me. Did they did they use the word roadmap?
No, I've quoted in the show notes exactly what was said. I went and looked. So Zach said, this is exactly what was said. There was a bit of banter between Arthur and Zach, but basically Zach said, we kicked off this year, meaning 2024, with the first FU, and we talked about what was coming to Elite Dangerous this year, and people seem to like that. Why don't we do the same again next year?
Okay.
That's it. That's what
okay, brilliant. Excellent. Let's not say roadmap and quote roadmap then, because evidently people are going to be disappointed. It's not like what we got last year was, hey, we're going to get 4 new ships and 2 new updates.
Yeah. Well, they said that we were going to get 3 updates and 4 new ships. And then they gave us a timeline for when it was, which was paper thin, and everyone just went. Everybody got angry about it. So yeah, let's just say we'll know what's coming. I apologise for the R word. It will be added to the ban list.
And this podcast and guard frequency now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there is one issue that I think everybody noticed over the holiday, especially since the Thargoid Titan went down. Hyperspace jumps. No, I'm not on about carrier jumps, but actual hyperspace jumps. The transition between real space and super cruise. That does seem to have slowed down. I'm getting, and it has been reported, there's an awful lot of Braben tunnels happening, and
yeah, I mean, we actually have some data. I haven't got the data to hand, but because it affected the last buckyball race, in fact, it's a bit of a killer for buckyball. So I mean, I had a certain amount of patience with it because it was after PowerPlay dropped, this started happening, and I thought, okay, they're letting things settle down. But it's been quite a long time now. They need to do something about it, I feel, because it's been a long time now. So yeah, what we saw in the last buckyball race was that I think about half of the runs submitted, so several hundred runs were submitted for judging. About half of we basically added a bonus system to try and counteract it, like a time bonus deduction. If you could screenshot the start and end of your tunnel, then you could have the time back. So about half of the runs encountered Braben tunnels, and typical length was an extra minute on top of the normal jump time. So whatever your normal jump times are, they on average take an extra minute, and they can take like 2 or 3 extra minutes. And it's not just hyperspace jumps, it's also, now I've been doing exobiology, where incidentally it's a real pain because I'm making loads of jumps. I'm also seeing it, things like getting in and out on foot. You sometimes get the transition to black and then you just hear footsteps indefinitely.
Yeah.
I'm getting that a lot. People also claim that it's tied in with the thing where your limpets just sit there not scooping stuff up.
Yeah, that's been noticed.
It's all to do, we think, the community as a general, we think to do with anything to do with server traffic. And the general consensus is the answer is for Frontier to spin up more servers. I'm sure it's harder than that, but
yeah. I mean, it must be said at the moment, the amount of players that are playing Elite Dangerous, the peak players itself, is now on a 3-year high. This is the second out of 3 months where it's gone over 10,000 on Steam charts. So yeah, there's a lot more demand on those servers, and I'm beginning to wonder whether this has taken Frontier by surprise, to be honest. So yeah. So there we have. That's our development section. I will now hand over to Alec Turner for the community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Well, it's been quite a few weeks, so I haven't gone back over all this stuff over the last few weeks, but I have. So I've picked out a few. Obviously, with the sort of end of the year and the end of the Thargoid War, we've had a few videos summing that up. So I just picked a couple. There's a fantastic video by Proenaman02 called "Elite Dangerous Cinematic: The Battle for Sol." In his description, he says, "This video documents the final battle against Titan Kahijo, where humanity fights to reclaim the world where it all began, Earth." Terrific video, really good editing, really dramatic stuff, building up sort of pretty much chronologically to sort of fighting Thargoids and finishing with the destruction of the Titan. It's great, really enjoyed that one. We've had some reviews of the year as well. Pete and Jude, Galnet News Digested, a brilliant review of the year, 3310. Quite impressively managed to pack it into one video this year. Normally it's like 4 or 5, but it's just one big bump of video. It's a brilliant summary of the year, as you'd expect. Some other bloke called Phoenix Duffer, can't quite get that right, did a review
right,
of
Duffer.
2024.
Right, right
review
for that one.
It's a good review, Colin. I enjoyed it a lot. Yes, it's Top Shift 145.
Yeah, I have to thank Katie Anna, of course, for the outline that she supplied us for last week because last show, because that came in very useful.
Yeah, it's nice. I enjoyed listening to your thoughts on the year. It's good. Somebody snuck this into my show notes.
I did it.
I don't blame you. We did feature it.
No, we didn't.
Didn't
no, we didn't. No, because it came out the day Casino went, which was the day after.
Where did we play it?
we played "Don't Panic," which was when Casino hit Storm.
God, you're
we played
right.
"Don't Panic," but this is the end of the war.
Okay, I do apologise. Takoso did a fantastic video called "It's the End of the War." This was the video that he asked for people to send him loads of little clips of Thargoid stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean,
it's so good. It might be my favourite song that Tom's ever done.
Yeah, the song with it is just hilarious. Yeah. Cool, good shout. Oh, I thought we'd already done that. I forgot he'd done two brilliant videos. He's too damn talented. That's what he is. Next. Oh yeah. Somebody in our Discord actually reminded me. I think I did give an early shout out to a YouTuber called FFLN. And yes, X or no in our Discord pointed out that FFLN has been churning out videos. I'd forgotten to subscribe, so there's loads of them, and they're guides, loads and loads of different guides. I haven't had nearly enough time to go back and check them all out, but what I did is I had a quick peek at the most recent one, which was a guide to bounty hunting for merits, for PowerPlay merits. And it is terrific. It goes into some really interesting detail, things I sort of hadn't appreciated, like, the best place to do bounty hunting, which is not a res site. I'm sure loads of people listening to this will know this already, but it's actually those mega ships that you can also scan for power plays, the non-landable mega ships. But the little scenarios that pop up at those spawn big ships like anacondas and things that you get loads of merits for, so it's way better than res sites. And once you've cleared the thing, if you wait a minute, another one starts up, so it's like an endless supply of big ships for bounty hunting. So those are really good. And he also really gets into the detail of his loadout, which is actually fascinating. I learned loads about things like how the DPS number is really not worth paying much attention to, even though it's the first thing that most people tend to look at, and some good stuff on cannons and things. So yeah, they seem to be really good, and he's got loads of videos now, so a lot to go back through. Mile 13 Gaming, who we also shout out quite often and does guides. It's just I mention this because it's relevant to what I've been doing, and I guess a lot of other people. It was to do with exobiology. And if, like me, you're pledged to Pranav Antal, you've probably got an eye on the bonuses that you get when you pledge to that power for handing in exobiology. I think eventually you get up to 30% bonus. And basically, Mile 13 just did some sort of research and experimentation with that, and it's really good because it's a bonus on top of everything else. So it's after you've taken into account the first footfall, bonus that you already get. So you add all of that up and you get that already massive amount of money from exobiology, and then you add 30%. So it can be really good. That's why I pledged to Pranav partly. So I'm looking forward to getting that. Right, next, what have we got? Just a couple of fun, more recent videos. Space Bear did a lovely video called Elite Dangerous Eternal, which is a sort of, music video documenting basically a journey to Sagittarius Eye, but fantastic editing and some really lovely visuals in that. End of last year, I kept shouting out the Voidwood videos by Enigmatic. That series is continuing. Chapter 8 just came out. The reason I shouted it out is what struck me is that they are getting better and better. And there's a lot of camera shots where you see the ship, flying through space or past gas giants or things. and the way the ship is moving in relation to the camera and also past the object, and I think is filmed in solo. It's not filmed by somebody else or him filming somebody else. It's some very clever use of the camera suite when you start to ask yourself how you get those shots. Full of inspiration, I think. If anyone's looking to make Elite Dangerous videos and wondering about different ways to film your own ship, I recommend watching the Voidwood series, particularly some of these later ones, because it's full of inspiration. A couple more. There's an Elite Dangerous Players First Impressions of Star Citizen, Good, Bad and Ugly by Spacefaring Chronicles. I don't know, it's quite interesting. I've never installed or even bought Star Citizen, but I'm curious about it and I vaguely follow it. And it was quite interesting to watch exactly what it says in the tin, an Elite Dangerous player giving it a go and comparing it. What were his conclusions? I don't know. Star Citizen could do with better tutorials, and no surprises, it could do with being a lot more stable. But it's quite interesting. Right, that's enough of videos. There's a couple of other quick things I wanted to mention. January the 12th, that's 5 days from now. When is that? It's not the weekend, is it? Anyway, never mind. January the 12th.
Sunday.
Sunday. It's Sunday. Thank you, Claire. So yeah, the AXI and XSF have come together to do a kind of big showdown of what's the wording? Come together for a show of force not seen since the Battle of Seoul. They're just basically encouraging everyone to bundle into HIP 22460, where it all started, where Salvation's device went wrong, and where there are still loads of Thargoids, and just have a massive Thargoid blowout. I wouldn't expect anything to happen. But I think it will be an absolute hoot, and I guess there's probably loads of money to be made if you're into your Thargoid combat. And there's loads of people signed up, so I think it will be cool.
You're gonna be busy.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. And the last thing I just wanted to mention is that with Buckyball sort of wound up for the season, and it'll be a few months before we start up, we're going to do another championship next year, and I've volunteered to run it. So at some point, February or probably February, March time, I'll be putting out calls for 8 volunteers to each run a race as usual, and we'll get a season going. I want to try and finish next year's season in November, because I think having it running in December, it was all a bit much. There was a lot going on.
100% agree. And I don't think the Thargoid War helped us in any way as well, but
No.
but it like there was a lot happened in December.
So yeah, we'll get cracking on that, but we'll have a bit of rest. But while we're having a rest, this is partially kind of deliberate on the part of Tobias von Brandt. The Elite Racers, who have their own Discord, I should include that link in the show notes when we publish them. So the difference is the Buckyball Racing Club, we do time trials, and they run for just over a week, and you can do them whenever you want and as many times as you want, and you record times and try to get better times. The Elite Racers do live in-game racing, so they say on Saturday night at 8 PM we're going to have a race, and everyone meets up, and for 3 hours you'll race against other people. So good fun, but a different kind of thing. So the Elite Racers are planning a series of races, not quite sure how many yet, that are vaguely going to be related to the Thargoid War. So we have some ideas. We're going to maybe redo the Ring Tossers Rally Buckyball, where we were using gas giant rings as gates. We might try and do that around HIP 22460, which would be a hoot. I've already got an SRV race mapped out at Fort Ash, which is in HIP 22460, which will be racing SRVs around with loads of Thargoids flying overhead, which is fun. So there are loads of plans. There's some races around Spire sites and things. I haven't got a date for that, but it is very soon now when we will have a date for that. And that is it. That is Community Corner for this week.
Excellent. So if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it across the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com, or just message Alec on the forums. I think is probably a good idea as well. but he'll probably hunt you down anyway. Yeah. Right. The in-game events. Well, what's been happening this week? Well, first off, there's no Thargoid War to report.
Well, what?
I know. So, yeah. It's all quiet on the bug front. Let's hope it stays that way. We did have over Christmas the Sandra Workshop quest, a little Galnet article that appeared about Sandra's workshop needing help making deliveries. Wonder what that could be based on. Did anybody do it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
How did you find it? Because I didn't.
It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. There was one that was slightly tricky because the station, you couldn't really work out what station it was supposed to be. There wasn't really a clue unless the name of the person was supposed to be the clue, but there was nothing in the blurb of it to suggest that was what you should be looking at, the name of the person, when in another clue it kind of suggested that you should be looking at the name. It was fun. There were a couple that missed the mark slightly, but the rewards were cool. The rewards were always cool.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm afraid I cheated horribly. I just I waited until someone posted a spoiler on the forum with all the places, and then I just went to them and did the thing.
You mean you don't do that anyway? Because that's what I do.
I sort of, well, sometimes I'll have a vague go at solving them, but this time I didn't even attempt. I just went to the places and got the stuff. I was in a rush.
Fair enough. Right, as per usual, we've got the PowerPlay standings for last week, and yes, things are beginning to hot up. There are no place changes so far, but I must admit that Aisling is actually catching Mahon. We might have a new top power. That blooming blue-haired princess is going to make it at last, allegedly. Wow. Yeah, so unfortunately, Winters is still down the bottom. Torval's still down the bottom. Yeah, people don't seem to like flying for the feds. But yeah, it's pretty much unchanged place-wise. And actually, the interesting thing is Winters has actually lost systems. The only power to have actually lost systems, everybody else has gained them. So yeah, that's quite interesting little maneuver. We shall see whether next week Aisling has taken the top spot with Arissa in third and Grom in fourth. So yeah, we could have a new winner next week.
Interesting.
So that brings us to that time of the week again.
Store alert! In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. A store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert, a store alert. Which one will you buy? A store alert, 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 a store alert. Which one will you buy?
Well, there isn't anything new, but there has been a little bit of controversy regarding the winter cosmetics sale that has happened over the weekend, over Christmas rather. Yes, on the 9th of January, they have said that. Well, earlier today they said that the whole cosmetics sale ends this Thursday on the 9th, which also means that the Midnight Black, Golden, the Chrome, and chromed paint jobs will be leaving the store, which was odd because they said it was going to be there permanently. Or am I getting confused?
You're not getting confused.
Not quite permanently, and this is the entire crux of the issue. I'm going to read this verbatim because it's very important. What they said way back April, May, in one of their sort of official newsletter things was a bestsellers section will be added to the game store, including some of our most popular items, allowing commanders to purchase items such as Midnight Black, Stygian, and Chromed all year round.
Gotcha.
And I think it comes down to your interpretation of all year round. So loads of people complained when they said that Chromed would be leaving the store because, like you said, it would be available all year round, and now you're taking it away. What the hell? Frontier then came back with another tweet later on today saying, "We've heard your feedback. Midnight Black, Chrome, Chromed, Golden will now remain on the store until May." Unfortunately, that's annoyed people even more because it's like, well, you haven't heard our feedback because our annoyance is you said they'd be there indefinitely and you're taking them away. So I don't know. They've stirred up a bit of a beast's nest. I'm already bored of it because so much been written about this already. I don't know if you agree, because I feel like it comes down to your interpretation of all year round.
And no, I don't know necessarily that it's all year round. My interpretation of it is, I feel like there is a word missing from the bit that you read early, which a bestseller section will be added to the game store. Because a bestseller section has been added to the game store. You say bestsellers, it's the one where they whack shit on sale and then they revolve it, or they put new stuff in which isn't normally available. And I think that's what they meant. Now, I also think with that bestseller section or that those sales items, what they meant to say is will be added to the game store, including some of our most popular items, allowing commanders the opportunity to purchase items such as Midnight Black, Stygian, and Chromed all year round. So there might be an opportunity when Midnight Black and Stygian go into the store, go into this bestseller section, but it's rotated. And I that's my interpretation of it, and my thing that says, please, Frontier, get a copywriter who can read it and actually interpret what you need to say and just clarify it. Because there's loads of times, we all know times when we've written something and someone's come back and gone, well, you didn't exactly explicitly say this, or I've looked at this and it's a completely different thing, and all of those kind of things. My personal take is that it was going to be like a sort of like in and out, dipping in and out, depending on, like, certain ships would be available, and then you do that. I wish this hadn't been the first time that was a thing. Shut up, Katie. I wish that hadn't been a thing. But that's what I took away from it when I saw the bestsellers, and I'm saying bestsellers in inverted commas because the first one, that all of the things that came out were like puke green, but
Oh yeah, remember that.
Yeah. So I just think that's probably what it was, and now we're again quoting something back at Frontier and going, oh, well, you said, but it's not working in benefit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's missing an Oxford comma somewhere. Yes.
I think it's missing like a word maybe that would have gone some way to clarify it, but people would have still complained.
Oh yeah.
Takeaway is Midnight Black, Chromed, Golden will be leaving in May.
So there you are. I bet you the prices will go up after the 9th anyway. So yeah, well, you can.
What I want to know is, and I think the answer, what I want to know, and the answer is probably no, unfortunately, is between now and May, will we get a Chrome Mandalay? But I guess we probably won't.
Well, yeah.
Given that it was originally due to go on the 9th of January, which is in 2 days' time, it seems very unlikely that we'll get a Chrome Mandalay between now and the 9th.
Yeah, probably.
Oh well.
Yeah, yes. So with that, we will we'll have an ad break, and then we'll come back with our main discussion.
We buy any ship, bar none. We buy any ship, bar none. Any model, any colour, any shape, any size. We buy any ship, bar none. We here at We Buy Any Ship, bar none are ready to take your excess space travel vehicles off your hands. No more negotiating with dodgy space station vendors. We'll simply give you an estimated quote online. Then, when you get here, we'll point out all the little dents and scratches that make the price get smaller and smaller before we actually give you any money. And the beauty is, we take any ship.
We buy any ship,
bar none. Terms and conditions apply. We Buy Any Ship excludes trading in any of the following vehicles: Adder, Anaconda, Asp, Boa, Cobra, Constrictor, Cruisers, Eagle, Falcon, Gecko, Griffin, Gear, Harris, Harrier, Hawk, Kestrel, Crate, Lanners, Lifters, Lions, Mantis, Merlin, Moray, Osprey, Panther, Puma, Python, Saker, Sidewinder, Skeet, Spar, Stowmaster, Tearsel, Tiger, Transporter, Turner, Viper, Wyvern, or any Imperial or Thargoid vessels.
Are you a commander who's tired of interstellar injustices? Do you find yourself constantly needing to express your displeasure? Look no further. Introducing the Manticore Pitchfork, crafted for the discerning commander who demands more than just a plasma gun to make their point. Made from ultra-durable, premium materials, these pitchforks are designed to handle even the most heated encounters with unruly aliens, malfunctioning droids, or pesky space pirates. Whether you're settling a dispute over asteroid mining rights or rioting about a non-compulsory feature, the Manticore Pitchfork has got you covered. With its sleek design and unbeatable durability, you'll be the envy of every commander in the galaxy. The Pitchfork will be in stores later this year, but if you cannot wait until then, you can get 3 months early access by visiting your nearest Frontline Solutions. Order today, and while stocks last, receive a free displeasure beacon. This lightweight handheld device combines all the functionality of a naked flame, but with 0 oxygen requirements. Now you can wield your torches in space, and even for a small fee, change their colour. The Manticore Pitchfork, when 280 characters aren't enough.
Hey kids, it's Azimuth Biotech. And we're here to tell you some sad news. Our knuckleheads down at the Starshine Imaginarium were a bit too true to life when they made the new Hunter class of Tickle Me Thargoid. And on the advice of our lawyers, Azimuth Biotech is asking for all of you to return your Tickle Me Thargoid Glaves to your nearest toy store to receive a full refund. We would also like to offer our heartfelt condolences to the Jones family in HIP 71682 and invite them on an all-expenses-paid trip to Hind Mine in T-Tari so that our top scientists can do everything they can to save little Astrid's sight. Keep your eyes peeled for a Titanic surprise coming to a toy store near you soon. This has been a message from Azimuth Biotech. Remember, you owe us.
And welcome back. Well, it's that time of the year. We always do this at the beginning of the year, where we do some rampant
speculation. You'll get there, Colin.
Oh, I am beginning to seriously get more and more senior moments as this goes on.
It's all right. English isn't your first language. It's okay. You come from Scotland.
Yeah, and you married one, so
I know.
Right. So we all know that colonization is coming early this year, but what else do we hope to see in Elite Dangerous 3311, or is it 30? Is it 3011?
It's 3311.
3311, yes. Yeah, someone told me off for that, I think. So how about some realistic expectations, and then maybe a moonshot or a far out one, or even a Star Citizen one, if you like.
I can't think that high. I can't think that big. I'm sorry.
So I'll just do this randomly. We'll start off with Alec.
Oh, right. Okay. It's thrown me. Jumbling the show notes. Yeah, right. Okay. So let's. I mean, there's an interesting question about whether it's reasonable to expect similar to scale to what we had last year. I won't dwell on that, but it's let's assume that maybe it is. So, what I put on my list is some more new ships. I think we don't know for sure, but I bet they made some decent money off that. And assuming they didn't have to invest too much effort to do it, I think some new ships seems reasonably likely. They are filling a lot of gaps. I mean, they're still trying to fill gaps with this year's new ships to some sense. And I know that's going to get hard. I'm going to say, just as a complete punt, I'm going to say we're only going to get 3 this year. And I'm going to suggest that we have at least one large ship.
We should save this, actually. We should save this and then revisit at the end of the year. Remind me to do it.
Yeah, this whole thing. Maybe we should.
Yeah.
Right. So then my next thing is, so I was struck with PowerPlay, or sort of what we got this with PowerPlay. It included a bunch of features, like, for example, Darren's hollow ad hacking thing. It's a nice little feature, but they didn't drop that in until they had a package for it to go with. I think Darren pretty much explicitly said that.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think, well, what big thing can they do? I've got a whole list of little things, and I was thinking, well, I feel like Frontier want to incorporate stuff and have a big thing. The best I could come up with is that they do either a quality of life update, dare I say it.
Yeah, you got into trouble last time you said quality of life, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But actually, when I listed these out, you could almost bundle these into what you might call an exploration update. So let's say that they do an exploration update. And the sort of things I've got, I'm sure there's more classics, but I've got fleet carrier tritium transfer. I haven't got a fleet carrier, but I know that's a massive issue. I feel like they could jam that in. Exobiology scanning improvements. Everyone's been calling for multiple simultaneous samples. Don't really see why they can't have an upgraded scanner that can do 2 or 3 at once, maybe. I'd quite like to do more stuff from inside the Scarab. It'd be cool if the wave scanner could show you distant bio signs, maybe show you where the 1 or 2 you've already scanned are. There's some odd stuff where you kind of have to keep jumping in and out of the Scarab to do different things, and that feels a bit odd. So other things thrown into my QL update would be module and ship push transfers. They've asked about transfer times. Everyone keeps saying it'd be nice if you could push modules to where you're going rather than go there first and then pull them to where you are. A random one I threw in, updated black hole visuals. People keep asking for that, and I keep thinking, how hard can it be?
Drink. Bigger card. I don't know.
It would look nice. Ability to drop the SRV from a hovering ship. A loadout manager. So this is one that crops up a lot where the idea is you'd pick a whole load of modules, I don't know, all your guns and all your cell banks, and then you'd say, I want to call that my combat loadout, and you'd store it as that. And it would empty all those slots, and then you could say, now load my mining loadout, and you'd have a similar load of stuff. And it's quite difficult, because what happens if there isn't enough gaps? I don't know. But I feel like there's room for an improved loadout manager.
With 600 module storage now, 100% there is, I would say.
Yeah,
I would have said.
Yeah, to have that simply as a big long linear list there's a lot of work to do. They could simplify that greatly. And then the last one I threw in was just some sort of tech brokery kind of tweaks. So maybe tweaking the numbers. Maybe it might be too late for this now and it would piss off too many people, but I still like the idea of being able to salvage old engineered modules and get some of your materials back.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Probably so annoying now because so many people have just given up and sold their stuff that there'd be a bit of an outcry. Maybe not, but it would be nice. So that's my package, if you like, of stuff. That's my update. And then I feel like for the storyline, maybe we revisit the Guardians for a bit of Galnet story and give us a reason to return to the Guardian sites would be lovely.
Up Salvation before he takes them over.
Yeah, and then my pie in the sky Star Citizen level thing, it's just access to another new planet type, I guess. Gas giants, maybe.
Oh.
Or maybe lava worlds. Or if I'm really going super stupid, then water worlds. But I can see there's a lot with water worlds. Gas giants. I'll take gas giants.
If one of the ships is the Moray Starboat, that's got Stephen Ush's ears picked up. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my prediction.
Excellent. We'll go on to Chris Mark 5.
Okay, so I put together a list. I should run through them. Right. Crime and punishment. Feels like there's no downside to being a rotten, dirty crim when I can just land on my fleet carrier, AFK overnight, and lose my notoriety. Kind of feels like that shouldn't be a thing I can do, but I can do it.
So what would you propose in a change to that?
Maybe it needs to be time spent active rather than AFK.
How do you measure activity?
That is a good question.
I'm sorry, I'm being an asshole.
You could detect if the ship is in movement, and if it isn't in movement or doing anything for more than a few minutes, you could count that as an AFK period.
So we not count time during hyperspace jumps.
Well, they're just... The hyperspace jumps are just loading screens. So it would know that you've started a jump. It would know that you're in the loading state. So that would count because you're still doing a thing.
Show the Braben tunnel.
Yeah. And then because you're going back in time, it would undo all your work up until that point. You'd have to start again. Yeah. No, I just think there needs to be something around being able to just sit there and not... And be like, yeah, I'll come back in the morning and I won't be notorious anymore. Other ones fix the broken BGS states and re-implement switch off PowerPlay stuff. Won't gain us huge bonuses for dropping off search and rescue stuff, but it won't generate merits. Boo, etc. Tech broke unlocks need to revisit. I hate that some are single unlocks and some are unlocked each time. So FSD boosters are single unlock, but fancy weapons are unlock each time, and I don't understand why, and it hurts my brain. Because it doesn't make any sense. Tie up some dangling storylines, the potential Emperor issue, who's actually taken over, Savlon, and there's probably other storylines I forgot about, Dredger clans, can I have a ship hoover, please?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Other one, Shadow Thargoid PowerPlay faction, when they can invade systems and then potentially call on Titan, but give it like 6 months to a year before even thinking about that. Because I think that'd be a fun thing to do. And a science spike for unfit exploration and plant collecting. Once you get your first plant sample, it can honk and point you in the rough direction of others.
That would be awesome.
I think it'd be a nice little hover bike. Or, I don't know, they could just make it a bicycle for Colin, and then he could like hit a stone and break his character's arms again. It'll be fine. More fleet.
Wow.
Yeah, more fleet carrier customization options, new layouts, etc. It's kind of, I think it's criminal that nothing's been done.
Yeah, good one.
Because there's so many options there. I mean, it would be cool if you could stick Thargoid bits on it, but fine. More ships, medium passenger ship, large alliance combat ship, which I'm still sticking to. I think will be called the Conqueror, and some other stuff, some other light ships. Don't know what. I guess a Gigantor, trading vessel maybe, probably called the Tiger Blipper.
Wow.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Moonshot Dream would be system colonization to the nth degree, passive income generation, being able to create tourism routes to and from your system, which would also generate passive income. Set up your own businesses so I could create an extraction economy system and gear it towards producing the materials needed to further my own colonization goals. That's it.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was my moonshot. The big one was that.
Yeah, I like that. Building on colonization.
Yeah. Okay, Claire, your turn.
Hi. I would like to have a quality of life pass on fucking everything, please. Sorry, that should have been my moonshot idea. I'd like a quality of life pass on everything. Just like, hey, is this working? Is this not working? I would love to see, and I know we haven't like dabbed this particular bingo card square for a little while, but I'd love to see like different colorblind options. That would be amazing. I'd love to see that at some point, please. Thank you. I would like to see a medium, like a passenger ship. So orca, beluga, a dolphin, something in the middle there. I'd like that for just like fun. I probably will get one, but you know, I don't think I'd fly it that often, but I just like one. I would like a hover bike.
Yes.
For science?
Not for, like, either a science bike or a science bike that I can repurpose just as a fast bike that goes fast. I'd like to see also on an addition to this, I'd like to see new engineers with engineering for SRVs as well, because I think that would be dope. I don't know what engineering for SRVs. I'm up there for thinking, down there for dancing. I'm doing a lot of dancing at the moment, but I'd love to see a hover bike. I'd like to see other engineering that we could do for SRVs. I don't know what that would be. Like, I don't know, stability shit. I don't know. I want, as Alex said, the ability to transfer a ship or an item from one system to another without being in that system. So the big question about we've talked about it quite a lot on stream with different things. Like, again, I'm not one of those people who's entirely averse to it being instantaneous, but I understand why people aren't happy about it. But I think, and in the instant, the fact that I would like it to be instant is because I have to go to the place to order my ship over to it. So it's one of those things. I'd like to see the removal of a lot of the mechanics that are in Elite that make people stop playing and walk away and come back to something else. Those are my main big suggestion is what makes people stop playing the game, and that is waiting for things to transfer, waiting for your notoriety to go, all of those kind of things. Things that draw your attention away from the game are things that you don't want in a live service game that's 10 years old. So I'd like to see those. I'm not going to add that to the checklist because I feel like that's too overarching. So I'll put some specifics down, and that specific is like moving and transferring ships. I'd like to see on-foot data material trading. So at the bartender.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, good one.
I'd like to see loose threads in the narrative wrapped up. So, Janae, the Nemesis machine that Wycherley used, all of that kind of stuff. Those ones are the two that I'd really like to have a resolution to. And also just I'd like to see Azimuth get their comeuppance for all of the bad shit TM that they did. Fleet carrier, I'd like to see more fleet carrier customization. And I don't know that I have a moonshot idea. Yeah, I'd like to see I'm not expecting to see extra ships. I think my moonshot idea might be colorblind mode. And I know that really sucks. But I genuinely do believe that my moonshot is probably colorblind. Oh, that's really sad.
It's not, because one of the things I've always wanted is, the pulsating lights and the FSE, the FSS scanner. I would love a way to switch that off, because if especially in a VR headset, it can give me a headache.
And a way to change, a way to turn off. To turn off how quickly neutrons, some of the really, really flashy neutrons.
Yeah, some of them are nightmares, even for someone who's not affected by that.
Yeah, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's still a video game, and I hate to bring that up as well because I get in shit for it. It's still a video game, so we should be able to adjust things so that people who are sensitive to those kind of lighting effects can play. It's because it is a video game, no matter what anybody wants to say.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's me.
Excellent suggestions. Mine's just an amalgamation of what everybody else has now. So, I'm hoping that on-foot exploration gets a pass. Make the plants, especially bacterium, easier to find. Harvesting them for materials, and maybe a new planetary type to land on. Crime and punishment, that definitely still needs a pass. I mean, a lot of people are still frustrated with it, and maybe a way to help it get some seal clubbing, deal with some seal clubbers. No Thargoids, give them a rest for a while. Something to do with the Guardian Ruins, and of course my moonshot is my old favourite of on-foot VR. So let's Excuse me. That's me for the moment. So I'm going to hand over to everybody else because we asked this very similar question for the question of the week, didn't we, Claire?
We did on on a Sunday. On a Sunday, probably around 2 p.m. Sometimes I'm late, sometimes I'm early. It's a fun time, but around 2 p.m. on a Sunday, UK time, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and on Discord, we post the question of the week. Those are the three places that they go. They don't go anywhere else. And you can, this week, we asked, what is it that you're looking forward to in Elite in 2025, or what are your expectations from Elite in 2025? Kezanik replied and said, if I'm entirely honest, just that Frontier give it the same love and attention that they did in 2024. Different people prefer different things regarding features, so I'm not expecting everyone to be pleased. What? I'm not expecting everyone to be pleased. Just happy that they're still developing and engaging after 10 years. Hear, Kezanik.
Yeah, hear to that. I like that. Gaming Snips and Bits says, a few more ships for starters. We've had a small and a few medium, but a large ship or two would be nice. Also, something for the three powers, a Corvette Plus or Cutter Plus, for example. Finally, also a new SRV couldn't hurt. Maybe something with a little more capacity for looting crash sites.
Oh, that's a good shout. Yep. I'm also, my eyebrows went into my hairline at Corvette Plus. I'm not going to lie. Hello?
Okay, I've got Finn McRaven, and it starts with, which I assume is Happy New Year. Some new ship/on-foot missions, at least 2 new ships, more to do with your ship, like sub-engineering and manual repairs, more cosmetics for commanders, stop the FOMO in the store, await encourage more into open, interiors and atmospheres as usual, but gotta be realistic.
Nice bit of realism there, Finn. When they say FOMO in the store, do they mean like the best-selling thing that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, Midnight Black turning up every 2 days or 2 years and then vanishing.
It's weird that they do that, right? I mean, I understand Christmas and Halloween. I get those two, but I just feel like the other ones are just... Is it weird that they do that?
Well, I suspect the unpleasant truth is that it probably works.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the money coming in, it probably works. It gives everyone the ick, but
I also feel like that's kind of the same. We're never going to know if the new ships were profitable, but the only way that we are going to like have an inkling is if they come in and they're like, oh, we're going to do 6 new ships this year or something. Do you know what I mean?
Or the financial report. If it's been really good, they might call it out.
That's
in their
coming
financial
up, isn't
report.
it? Yeah. It's a while off actually, but it'll be interesting to see what their half year results are, because those will be out soon.
Yeah.
So I've got Witch Space. So increased cross-pollination of FPS and ship activity. I would love that. Additional memory slots on the Expo tool to allow 2 samples for more than one thing at a time, and allow the ship's pulse wave analyzer to generate exo pulses. Yeah, I think that'll be... I think I would prefer
like exo bio pulses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I agree with the FPS the ship activity as well. Because as was it you, Alec, who said about you having to, like, if you're driving around and doing exobio? I don't do exobio. It's well documented. But do you have to? Are there things that you have to just get out of your car, out of your SRV for?
There's a whole load of odd things, like yeah. So if you jump back into the SRV, then you can't see, if you've already scanned 2 and you're looking for your 3rd, when you're on foot, you can see where the other 2 are, but you can't when you're in your SRV. But when you're in the SRV, you could, for example, use the composition scanner to get that extra little thing in your codex, but you can't do that on foot. And then the worst thing of all is that if you want to have another look at the blue overlay to see where your next thing, which area supports the next bio, you have to get back in your ship and go way back up into orbit and then do a U-turn and point at the planet and use the...
Oh, yeah.
And that's pain
it's got
in the arse as well.
Yeah, like tightening up that sphere of... I wouldn't say it's not a sphere of combat, but you know what I mean? Is that...
Yeah, that's sphere of exploration.
Yeah.
Although I have to say that latter thing of going back up into orbit and taking another look at the planet, once again, SCO to the rescue. It's just bloody brilliant.
That's a godsend. But the one thing that I would say is that when you actually look at the blue overlay, that looks so basic. It also strips the planet of its atmosphere and all its lighting, and because I find that I'm flipping between the two modes.
Yeah, me too.
One to find them, and then one to enjoy the view as I approach it.
Discovery mode for the overlay, very quick look, and then as soon as I've got it in my head where I want to go to, I just turn back to combat mode to get rid of that unpleasant blue thing.
Interesting. Katie Anna, who I'm sending lots of love to because she was really nervous about a procedure that she was having done today, and it all went really well, and she was very brave, has said, I think they'll announce 4 more vehicles this year, specifically like that. So she says vehicles this year, a date for colonization live beta, and apologize for the BGS being broken. I'd like them to say they were going to bring the codex fully up to date, but I don't see that happening.
As a tangent, is the BGS actually broken, or is it just the effect of PowerPlay kind of?
I don't know, but I would ask one of the systems that the faction that I support is in control of and has been in expansion of for I don't know 9 weeks.
Right.
Which shouldn't be a thing. So expansions are broken on quite a lot of systems. There is a thing for it, but it's not good. It's not good, and it's quite frustrating. And it's kind of like, I'll tell you who has been able to expand, Azimuth Biotech, but the rest of us haven't, which is quite annoying.
Or an evil plan.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really frustrating.
What is that Salvation has put himself not just into a Guardian edit, he's put himself into the BGS.
Oh my god! So are we actually saying that it's a simulation and not real life? Wait.
Yeah, it's gone fully meta now.
Salvation's released realized this meta status of he's actually a character. He's actually an NPC in a video game, and he's now attacking the video game. That's my new favorite piece of Lavian lore.
I mean, to be fair, if you do want to wipe out the Thargoids, then the best way is just to get into Frontier's servers and corrupt the code. Job done. Right, I've got Nicey, who says, different suit voices, please. Different suit voices. Suit voices. Does that mean ship voices?
I don't know. She said suit voices, and I'm not sure.
Suit voices. Mm-hmm. Or at the very least, a top hat.
I assume it's like when it goes like shield on, shield depleted, all that
There's
jazz.
a voice that does that.
Yeah, I'm guessing that.
Yes, I suppose because we have all the different Kovas options for your ship, don't you? But I guess you don't for suits. I'd never really thought about that. Is there just one voice?
Mm-hmm.
More money for you, Frontier. I'm making that little rubbing my fingers together gesture. Suit Kovas's.
Yeah.
And top hats.
And top hats.
Top hats.
We want top hats.
I have Profane Pagan. I hope that Frontier will overhaul the on-foot content, which has degraded a lot after Ascendancy, saying this is a huge fan of the on-foot content. For example, the on-foot power-related soldiers appear on the enemy side in CZs, they get dropped with scavengers, and break anti-scav missions. Power soldiers patrol in empty settlements in settlement restore missions, and they shoot you in the ass if you try to cut the door panel to the power plant. Fleet carrier interiors need more work too. Frankly, if Frontier want people to upgrade to Odyssey, they need to maintain it and expand on it. I mean, I think of a quick way to expand Odyssey. Just have colonization in Odyssey.
Oof. But also, I don't know that I would agree that on-foot content has degraded after Ascendancy, because it's still...
No, it's
you can
still
still
the same.
get the missions.
Well,
you can
from the
effectively get more stuff.
From Pagans, because I haven't done much, but it sounds as if there are issues with the power soldiers kind of messing up some of the scenarios a little bit and getting in the way of things.
Right.
No, is that not? That's what I'm reading from what he's saying there.
Power-related soldiers appear on the enemy side in CZ, so whoever you don't pick as the enemy, or is it a power CZ? Because, like, on-foot power-related soldiers, are they harder to kill than normal on-foot people? I hadn't noticed, because my pistol does a really good job of just one-shotting pretty much everything if it doesn't have a shield.
No idea. I avoid doing anything PowerPlay related with on-foot stuff.
Yeah, I've yet to do PowerPlay on foot stuff yet.
Yeah, I get the idea that if you enjoy settlement restore missions, and if those normally consist of going into a deserted base, and suddenly the base isn't deserted and has got power soldiers wandering around that didn't used to be there, I can see how that.
So Profane Pagan has clarified in chat and said that breaks immersion in conflict zones when feds are fighting on the side of Imperials.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
so
you
it's an
mean,
immersion thing.
Okay, right, gotcha. It's sort of you're in your power, you're taking part in the combat zone, but there's other powers there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I do think that, they need to have a look at the on-foot side of PowerPlay again, I'm afraid.
A lot of like just power play in general, like the where the missions get given to you and they're sending you to a place where you can't do the missions. Because apparently there are things like Simon, Commander Simon was saying in my chat today that if he spends a lot of time in one system during the week, when he gets his power play stuff, he gets it tends to favor the systems that he's been into. So there are markers for like the systems that are in like you're in big proximity to, or the systems that you're close to. So why is there not a marker? I should have put this in my list, but I'd like to see in 2025 just a quick flag to say, actually, you can't do hollow screen hacking in this system. That's really the one for me right now. You can't do hollow screen hacking in the system because there are no hollow screens. That genuinely feels like a how hard can it be? And I don't think it should be that hard. If no stations in the system, like no space stations in system, don't give mission.
Yeah. I know that kind of kind of programming.
As an alternative, I'm just thinking whether is some reason why that might be difficult. I mean, you kind of have to run the Stellar Forge a little bit to generate the system to find out what's in it. Anyway, I just had a thought. How would it be if you could pick one of your weekly assignments, and just sort of click a re-roll button? Go,
yes.
I don't like that one. Give me another one.
Like, I would pay merits to do it.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
I'd sacrifice merits to do it. To be like not as many as the reward is, but like sacrifice half of the merits of the reward to get the thing. I'd go down a rank.
Interesting. There you go. How hard can that be?
I'd stop saying that. People are going to be out of their faces by now.
I'm halfway through a daiquiri. I'm off my tits. I'm joking.
Well, I've got Commander Mad Dog. To be honest, I had zero expectations from Frontier this time last year, and they've knocked it out of the park. Now, I completely agree with that. For this year, perhaps some more new large or smaller ships, and of course the system colonization update. I'd also like to see the beginnings of a giant new story arc. I mean, the obvious one seems to be the Guardians, but yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah.
Just something interesting happening in the background.
The only problem with the Guardians story arc is that they're all dead. They're all dead, Dave.
They're all dead, Dave.
But maybe they can.
But are they? Do we find Baxter and they all walk through it going, hello?
Oh, is that how old Guardians talk?
That's
Is
what
it?
Hello there. Hello, I'm here to do the things.
Yeah, we're Guardians. We're
We're the Guardians. We're here to help you. We understand that Wycherley was a big fan.
They're all from Essex.
I mean, I've got one accent. That's all I can do. Taller Ghost says a little engine overhaul for better performance and, more importantly, stable shadows. Please. I'd love to see more stuff to find both in space and on planets. I'm still surprised that with all the new planets Odyssey bought, there wasn't a single new Guardian structure to find. That's a good point. Maybe it's just waiting. Maybe they'll emerge out of the ground. I don't know. Yeah.
I must admit, though, the Guardian structures and the Guardian beacons, this is where I do agree with Alex. There's something in the old engine that makes them look better. Yeah. There's something about the ones in the Odyssey engine. It doesn't seem as good as atmospheric as the old ones. So if you could have a look at that while you're at it, you know.
Yeah, there was some good mist and sort of fog effects around the surface places in the old engine, which see much less of. Can I, incidentally, just on the back of Tower Ghost's list, I would like to change my pie in the sky. You can keep your rotten gas giants. Please, for the love of God, fix the flickering shadows.
Yeah, please.
I'm changing to that. Right.
That falls in my accessibility shit as well.
Gaz Ubermick says expansion of on-foot gameplay beyond the Spire sites, which are tremendous, and a bit of AX base reactivation. Our much vaunted space legs have gotten little attention.
They gave us one extra mission like 2 years ago.
Is that the mission where you had to
have to go and defend the thing or go and attack the thing?
Of
yeah,
or whatever. I don't know.
Yes, it was a box of some shit, and then everybody had to defend it.
Yeah,
but when it first went in, they killed you as well.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That is the only thing, isn't it? Apart from the Spire sites, which were tremendous. The whole on-foot bit of that was amazing.
So good. Chris?
Yep. I have Frank. Just Frank. A bit of love for CQC, maybe a new mode of play that gives those of us that aren't as skilled more of a chance of winning a round, and some incentive to get folks back in the arena. I doubt I could compete with buckyballers, but I'd like to see ring racing.
What I'm hearing from this new mode is a mode that specifically excludes what's his name?
Yeah, Blackwood.
No, the guy that wins CQC.
Oh, Musketeer.
Yes. Yeah, I'm hearing like what he wants is a mode like you've got open solo and not Musketeer mode.
I must admit, I did log into CQC. Musketeer was the only person that joined, and basically he wiped the floor with me within 30 seconds. 8-0 victory. So, no.
You get those like if you go into a competitive match in Marvel Rivals, for example, you get an opportunity to ban a hero. Now you ban a couple of heroes, and it's always like Hawkeye and shit, but in CQC you ban Musketeer and that's it. Poor man.
So
not being so good.
I'm kind of surprised when Odyssey didn't come out that there wasn't an on-foot portion for CQC.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. I'd love that.
Yeah.
I guess it's just not the people to, put to focus on that.
Well, I've got Commander Ember Ram. PowerPlay should key off whether you have a special PowerPlay decal on your ship. If I don't nothing, all right, hang on. If I don't, nothing I do will give me points. But if I do, then it can be dangerous to go into enemy territory again, like before they nerfed it. So and so instead of
Instead of a flag, kind of
instead
thing.
of a flag, you've got a decal. Yeah, okay. Considering you can only change the decals once you've landed or docked, I suppose.
That's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. I actually quite like that.
Yeah, not a bad idea at all. That's probably like the most, hey, let's use current tools to implement it. Is there the only question to that is there a journal entry that appears when you change your decal?
I don't know. That's the problem. It's one of those things you'd have to add in. But then again, how hard could it be?
How hard could it be? Zesty Fooper Turbo says, how about a carrier that costs maybe 1.5 billion for those who have no chance of scraping together 5 to 6 billion? There's just been 2 years of Thargoid War, mate.
Yeah, I still haven't got it.
Man.
I'm very close now. The funny thing is, I'm not sure I even want one after all that. But anyway, that's another matter.
Oh boy.
Commander Schnails says, not that I think they will ever actually tell us, but I would love to know whether the new ships last year were the positive money spinner I think they were. Oh, and more new ones for this year would be great too. Wink. Yeah.
We can only speculate unless they put it in the financial report.
Yeah, we all sort of assume, I mean, probably based on our own kind of, did I buy 2? I definitely bought 1.
As Lave Radio, the advanced package, we got some, but on my other accounts, I have bought all 4. So,
have you really?
Yeah. Not all 4 on one account, as 4 was spread between the other 2 accounts. I'm not that rich, but yeah, I have spent that. And when you think about that, that's the equivalent of 3 Odysseys now. So yeah, they might have. But then again, I could be a freak.
I don't know that you are. I think so many.
I hear a lot of people saying they've bought at least 1.
So many people bought the Mandalay and the Cobra.
Oh,
so definitely. Many people bought the Mandalay and the Cobra, and I think it was also, again, we'll know when we get the first frontier unlocked, and Arthur's like, hey, no, there's 4 more ships coming this year, and we'll be like, oh, I wonder why.
Definitely.
So I've got Stephen Usher. I'm hoping to see some more love for exploration, fleshing out the type of things to do, and adding different game loops, and making better tools. But I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, there's someone who's been burnt before. I know what you mean. We'll just have to wait and see. I have Shea Blackwood. Bug fixes and performance improvements. As a bonus, take the issue tracker software out back, throw it in a dumpster, set it on fire and push it into the sea, then introduce a good one.
That feels right, Shay. That feels accurate.
Yeah, it's a sort of... Maybe it's because we don't get good feedback from it, but yeah.
I feel like we've all said, we want to make sure that you vote this in the issue tracker, and then like nothing happens.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like with the Braben tunnels, the long hyperspace jump times. So there is an issue in the issue tracker. I did contribute to it. I have voted on it, but all the time I was thinking, what's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point of doing this? It felt so pointless.
Yeah. Until you see, we don't even see any of them checked off the patch notes now.
Yeah,
that was where it came in useful. You went, right, that one's been fixed. That one's been fixed. But
but that was as a direct result to feedback, wasn't it? Because vocal people on the forums went, oh, we don't need to know every little thing and that kind of stuff. Right? Why are you filling out like you're padding the patch notes with that little thing? And now they're like, why haven't you addressed my bug directly? So you cannot win.
No, they definitely can't.
Buxton says a way to turn Super Cruise Assist on and off with a button.
Yes.
Some way to use SEO with Super Cruise Assist. Some way to engineer the on-foot tools, like a way to get the exobiology sampler to store samples from 2 different plants at the same time. That would make exobiology so much easier and might mean that Claire would venture out and do some of it. A way to remove engineering from on-foot weapons so you can try out effects and remove them if they don't work out. Oh yeah, that would be nice. That would be real nice. More ships like the Panther. More paint jobs for the new ships.
Hurrah.
Every single one of them is, completely agree.
Right, I have Epaphras, and I gather this has been cut down.
It has been cut down.
Which I'm glad about. So Epaphras says, I would really like to see bug fixes getting some love. There have been quite a few introduced over the last year, and it kind of feels like they're ignoring them. Hyperspace jump times really needs looking at. At times it's adding over a minute extra per jump and soon starts adding up when you're trying to get around. It's going to kill time trial events like Buckyball. It gets so bad at times I just park up and go play a different game, and that's bad, Frontier. I'd like to see exobiology get some new features. There really needs to be a way to locate plants at ground level with the ship SRV, something like the wave scanner we have for surface prospecting. Wasting hours looking for something like the DSS heat map showed was there and not finding it just isn't fun. Extra canisters would be nice so you can collect samples from multiple plants at the same time rather than walking past all the ones you still need to sample while looking for that third elusive sample, which only shows up after you give up and clear the canister to collect the ones you kept passing by. Oh my god, that is so true. That is funny.
Yep.
Yeah, good list.
Okay, I've got Turkrov and this. Right. I'd like to see some. Yep. I'd like to see some more effort being put into banishing the longer term, more generally impactful, although not entirely game breaking, bugs. My current hit list would be ship jump times issue and the galaxy map filters clearing. So annoying.
Yes.
These things affect most players, whatever the role. Having to continue work around these issues leaves a bad taste in the mouth. Not a good thing when the game is trying to win back player count. Now is a showcase moment, I feel, that smoothing wrinkles such as these things would play a part in player retention. Secondly, a feeler review of the features already implemented would be in order across the game. Not major gameplay changes, but just a polishing patch. As previously managed, exobiology is an excellent example of this. The polishing there could be SRV / on-foot ways of locating biologicals and the ability to compile multiple samples side by side. All it needs is a second scan mode for the scanner in the SRV. Some location mechanic for use on foot and a better way to see which samples have been completed on the body. And then expand in Discord. Do you want the expanded bit in Discord as well?
No, it's fine. It's fine because we don't need to do the whole thing. But he did go. Terekov did go in and expand more on that in Discord, and it's a really interesting read. So if you're in Discord, go and check that out because it's a very, very interesting read.
Excellent. Yeah, it makes an awful lot of good points.
Mm-hmm.
I do notice that the exploration multiple plant scan plus also finding them is seems to be quite popular with everybody. Right, I've got Nowski. Recognition that the pace of last year left a few edges a bit too rough, and a timeout period for concentrating on bug fixes would be nice. That and a portal to a new galaxy with no galaxy map right for exploration, colonization, and conquest. I'd be happy with just one of those, though. I don't think we need a new galaxy.
We don't need a new galaxy. What did I just say about thousands of new ones, even within the bubble, that we can populate?
It's 0.06, almost 0.07% of this galaxy has been explored, which is actually when you actually break that figure down, it's still a huge amount of.
It's a huge amount, but it's fuck all.
But it's fuck all compared to the entire size of the galaxy.
Exactly.
Yeah, dear.
Wild. So yeah, we do that. We do our questions of the week. They go out on a Sunday, and we'll do another one next week for next week's show.
Excellent. Right, our mostly clueless entry. This comes from the Chris Mark 5.
It does. So we experiment with this. It'd be good more people to try it, but it looks like if you want space only PowerPlay 2.0 weekly tasks, load in Horizons until you get your assigned PowerPlay tasks. May take a few logins. Once you have them, you can log into Odyssey and keep the space only tasks. However, it would be good for more people to try it, just to make sure it's not confirmation bias.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting one to see whether or not that happens.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Frontier are going to start noticing that on a Thursday morning at about 9:30, they're getting massive amounts of logins to Horizons, then logouts, then logins to Odyssey, and eventually cotton on and go.
Make the Odyssey ones more fun then.
Are you saying you don't want to the RNG of finding 10 power classified datas? Is that not fun for you? No. Oh, that pressing silence about it not being fun for you. Is it not fun for you to have the RNG of finding 10 just classified datas, not everything else? No.
Or that every NPC seems to have the Spider-Man tingle, so they don't notice you when you're near them, but you pull out the profile cloner, then all of a sudden they're 360 and then getting mad at you. I'm like,
not every system has got an anarchy base, and that's unfortunate. Kremen in chat says he thinks he would rather avoid scanning megaships. Scanning megaships, as long as you don't do it on a Thursday, is the easiest thing in the world in comparison to getting power classified data. I would have 5 missions to scan megaships than getting one for power classified data in a system where the only anarchy settlement that they have has 3 data pads. You know what? I think I'll go for the scan megaships every time.
Yeah, and also, if you scan the megaships, the chances are that one of those megaships will come under attack, and you can then fight it off or even attack the megaship itself.
That's not my job, Colin. That wasn't the job that I was assigned. My assignment was scan. Those people can fight all they want. Although, some of these megaships are really cool looking.
Oh, they are.
There's like one where you have to go inside to go and get them. Very cool. Very nice implementation, Frontier. Should have drew people to it much earlier. Maybe in 5 years' time, we might get some on foot stuff. That's about the time frame, right?
Yeah, that's what I keep on telling people. It's only an inch deep if you just stick your foot in an inch. You need to stick it deeper. For now.
We do need to go deeper, yeah.
Oh god, it's just my job ends not here. Is it just
cool?
Yeah.
Do we need a 5-year roadmap? Yes, we do. we need a 30-year roadmap because that's when that final generation that the thug was.
Oh, you wouldn't let it lie. You just wouldn't let it lie.
I couldn't not say anything.
Right. Any other business? Go for it.
Yes. Hey friends. Hey, do any of you stream space games like Elite Dangerous or Star Citizen or Starfield or Among Us or other space games are also up at No Man's Sky? Lots of cool games. Hey, do you stream space games and would you like to raise money for special effect on the 21st and between the 21st and the 23rd of February, which is when GameBlast, which is special effects annual big push to raise a lot of money. I'm looking to get some folks together who might want to do some streaming over that weekend to raise some money. If you're a very small streamer, if you're a massive streamer, no matter what, all I want is more money raised for this amazing charity. So there will be a link to a Discord in the show notes, which you can join to come and organize ourselves and do stuff because it's coming up soon and I'm going to start pushing it literally from now. We might do something in Lave as well. We might do a Lave thing. That might be fun. Do a Lave thing on the Friday night. That might be cool on the 21st. I'm gonna pocket that and come back to it.
Very true. Right. Well, I guess that brings us to the end. It just leaves us with the shout-outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv, Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We're also giving shout-outs to the other Elite Dangerous podcasts. That would be the Guard Frequency. We do other space games as well. There's the Loose Screws, the Cheese Munchers of the other side of the Atlantic. And of course, if you speak French,
I just let the funky music do the talking.
And that would be the Elite Dangerous podcast. Who also do those wonderful missions. And they're also live streaming right now on Twitch. So if you want to pop over there afterwards. We don't have any Galnet news digest tonight. If you have seen the review of the year that that Beetlejuice and Witherspoon did, it's well worth a watch. I know Alex said it before, but it's that good. We mentioned it three times. And we'd like to thank all those who have chipped in on the Twitch chat, and the in-game commanders today have been no one. Oh no, we've got Sucker42 and Apatha Chris.
What's happening?
So special thanks to Commander Tokuso, Jay Antrax, and Alan Stroud, who all have created music that we use on the show. But that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out on laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Night, everyone.
Thanks to Claire.
Thanks, Colin. Cheers, guys.
Thanks to Chris.
You're welcome.
And special thanks goes to today's tech specialist. That would be the Apatha Chris. Again.
You're welcome.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Democracy.
He's
No!
been acclimatized.
No, democracy is bad.
So until next time, commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that for the first time this year, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this?
Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. Need a safe word.
Space can be done.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.